Hello there, it's Tania Gabrielle here, Wealth Astro-Numerologist, and welcome to Star Codes. This is where we look at the stars and numbers coming up so that we can navigate the energy in the most high vibrational way. And today we're going to look at the Cancer new moon, which happens on July 10th Universal Time at 2:16 a.m. That's in London, and July 9th in the Americas at 9:16 p.m. Eastern and 6:16 p.m. Pacific. And of course, you don't need to be a Cancer. You have Cancer somewhere in your birth chart. So this new moon is taking place in one of your 12 houses. So that is where it's good to know what part of your life is being renewed, because that's what new moons are. They bring renewal and new beginnings. Cancer is all about love and nurturing, kindness. It is the sign of the mother. It is ruled by the moon. And the symbol of Cancer is the crab. So the crab can sometimes hide under the shell if it doesn't want to deal with the situation. So the shadow side of Cancer is to dig your head in the sand. But the main aspect of Cancer is that it is the sign of mothering, of nurturing. And being ruled by the moon, when we have a new moon in Cancer, it represents a double lunar energy and the energy of the feminine, the divine feminine. So we have a beautiful moment here where we can move into this whole feeling of sweetness and kindness and to get enjoyment from nurturing, from being of service. So a new moon is always a perfect time to begin fresh, that we have as a gift every month, in fact 13 times a year. And we can begin with new goals, new habits, new directions, original inspiration that injects new energy, a sense of firing up your life with newfound passion and enthusiasm. And this new moon in Cancer happens with the sun and moon at 18 degrees Cancer. So it's really right in the middle of Cancer. So 18 is a number of release. It reduces to 9. It is a number of looking at your physical health, making sure you are getting enough rest and eating very healthy, nutritious, organic food, drinking pure water, right? This is about attending to those human health important parts of being human on earth. And also the heart, nurturing your heart, letting go of those things, forgiving others, letting bygones be bygones, resting and feeling love. This is a wonderful number 18 in Cancer combination. Since the moon is the mother principle, and Cancer therefore is a feminine sign, the moon is connected to the divine feminine. And so it's coming home to itself once a year when we have this new moon. And it's very private. It's like this internal sign of emotional security. It gives you an internal frame of reference. Cancer is all about feeling vulnerable, feeling intimate. Your feelings in general are heightened. It's a water sign and ruled by the moon. And so there can be moodiness, there can be changeable sense of, do I belong, do I not belong, right? There's a sense of wanting to connect to the heart, but sometimes being afraid to connect to the heart. But it's a very tender sign. And it governs home, it governs family, it governs the 4th house. So that is your intimate family, the home you live in, your relatives, your past. Cancer needs to feel safe and protected and secure. And the shadow side, because the crab, is to be clingy, to be codependent, to be insecure, to be possessive, to be cautious, afraid of rejection, or lacking in clear goals. And that's because it's opposite Capricorn. And Capricorn is all about setting goals, right? So being loving, caring for yourself, and allowing yourself to be loved and cared for are all important things during any Cancer experience. So it happens in the Americas on the 9th, and that is a 21 universal date. And it happens in universal time on the 10th, and that is a 13 universal date. Now 13 is the number of the divine feminine, and because universal time is the time we go by officially, it activates even more that quality of allowing your intuition to listen, softening up, not being so hard and harsh, right? And so with the Americas, the 9th adds up to 21, which is a 3, and that also is very feminine. That's a 3 and a 9, loving, caring, joyful, expressive numbers code. And so there's a lot of ability here to just go with the flow and just allow that joy to be present in your life. Now, the transits are very important during this Cancer new moon. When I look at the chart, the most important transit that stands out is a sextile to Uranus by the sun and moon, Uranus in Taurus. And sextiles are very harmonious aspects, so this is a wonderful invitation to take risks and trust your instinct. You want to open up to your out-of-the-box thoughts, your inner genius, right? This will really allow you to radically shift your perspective and to go into a place of non-attachment, which is always good for Cancer. So take all the opportunities that are coming your way and allow your inventiveness, your curiosity to flourish. They will bring insights, they will bring answers, because Uranus helps you often uncover a critical missing link that will connect all the dots for you, and you're more open to receiving that info. You're also more open to sharing your feelings because of the Cancer impact that you may have withheld before now. So it's a great time to release old habits, Uranus in Taurus, the sign of habits, the sign of values, old paradigms that you know are not working, and replace them with that newfound love and wisdom. And then the new moon is also trying to Neptune, which is absolutely gorgeous. This enhances your psychic abilities, and it allows you to feel the tenderness, the parts of you that are sweet and delicate, and it's very, very spiritual. So mystical experience are definitely on par during this time. You feel affectionate, you're just so sensitive to beauty, and you need beauty and compassion around you. You have a strong urge to be around others, and you forgive them easily, and you also have an interest in looking at dreams and looking at the unseen and helping others through whatever emotional issues they're going through. So focusing on your spiritual origins, on understanding your destiny and life purpose, these are all covered with this new moon trine to Neptune. Now, the sun and moon are also opposite Pluto. Pluto's at 25 degrees in Capricorn, so it's a pretty wide opposition, but it is still there, and it is important because Pluto strips things down, and it's a life, death, rebirth. So Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign. This is a new moon in Cancer, another water sign. So that means your emotions will be intensified. Your feelings will want to really be looked at. You want to take control of any emotional reactions, breathe through any changes of mood. Oppositions can create tension, but the tension is there to create harmony and balance. So be sure you share your feelings, you share your emotions with a trusted friend or somebody who just you feel super close to. And also, because of the watery element here, even though Pluto is in Capricorn, this is awesome for creating something very important or lasting in your career, or to just create something, to be artistic and create something that is lasting. So, and then we have, outside of the context that the sun and moon make, we have Venus conjunct Mars, which is very much about love and affection and sensuality, tenderness and romance. And, being creatively engaged and on fire, and it favors social gatherings, cultural events, resolving personal issues with people. And Venus is not only conjunct Mars, but Venus is trying to Chiron, and that really spiritualizes your values. It spiritualizes how you look at financial flow, how you look at beauty in your life, and basically your values are all undergoing a sense of, well, how can I be more loving? And you're more receptive to divine inspiration. So this is a big transit also for relationships, embracing spiritual values together. And then Mars is also trying to Chiron, because Mars and Venus are conjunct. So they're both trying to Chiron. And Mars brings a lot of healing, physical healing. Chiron governs healing through love. Mars takes the initiative, is a very physical planet, fired up. So there's a powerful birth of the sacred warrior. You feel naturally courageous. You can just use your energy in a way that is very direct, and it really helps to feel confident about how you choose to express love. Venus and Mars are also opposite to Saturn. And let's see here. Yeah, Saturn is in Aquarius, and Venus and Mars are in Leo. Those are fixed signs. So what really helps with this opposition is to take some time alone, take responsibility for any relationship tension in your life, pay off debts, organize your finances. And with Mars opposite Saturn, it just activates your responsibilities, and you need more rest. And because this new moon is at 18 degrees, which also requires more rest, I recommend around July 9th, 10th, 11th, that you take that time out. This is happening during a weekend, so if you can take a long weekend, that would really help. And Neptune is sextile Pluto, and I'm going to talk a lot more about Neptune sextile Pluto during the latter part of this decade, because it doesn't actually get exact until 2029, believe it or not, but they are in a sextile at this time, not exact, of course, but this really helps to go to be fearless, to not be afraid to go against the grain, and an accepted way of doing things. And it gives you a pioneering spirit. It helps you dissolve cultural or religious or societal dogma and transform it into a higher state. So this is really going to come into the foreground more and more as we move through the decade, where basically you're inspired by truth and you tap into the collective to gauge the pulse of humanity, but at the same time you guard against compulsive tendencies, and you focus on simplicity, and you focus on basically the evolutionary leaps and changes that are happening collectively, and apply them to your life. Now, this transit is also very much about unconditional love and the rebirth of love in your life. And as old systems and beliefs based on control over others are disintegrating this decade, you are in turn creating and imagining a loving, spiritually inspiring approach to life. Now, since Cancer is so sensitive, you can feel more vulnerable when this sign is activated. And so the best way to learn about love is to allow yourself to be loved by others. And evolving beyond the dependency is an important part of this Cancer new moon experience, because nurturing others and having them nurture you helps you to find that belonging and that need, which is very Cancerian because Cancer governs family. So engage in activities that really light up your heart, that make you feel joyful. Otherwise, you're going to feel moody and resentful around this time. And just know that you can trust that any suffering that happens to you will show you what is not working, what is false. And just like you can trust anything that feels peaceful and loving to show you what is true and what is trustworthy. So these are just ways to be guided when we make decisions. And you always want to go in the direction of love. Cancer is love. If you go the direction of love, you cannot go wrong. Cancer embodies that warmth and that kindness. And love is really the simplest compass direction that points you homeward. And so this double sextile of the sun and moon in Cancer to Uranus in Taurus, which is governed by Venus, planet of love, will really help in that regard. Uranus also governs the higher mind, the inspirational mind, the intelligence of the heart, inspiration. So be very, very connected to your intuition. If you listen too much to your thoughts, it's going to be challenging to find your way. Cancer is not about thinking so much. And relying on your thoughts to find answers will keep you confused, and you don't really want to go there. I mean, that's where suffering starts to happen. All it takes is to stop listening to that thought stream. And I know it's easier said than done. But when you do that, you're going to find freedom and inner peace, happiness. Your heart's going to be filled with love and gratitude and with awe. So be open, focus on the adventure. The Uranus sextile is important because it's basically letting go and taking a risk, going on an adventure versus analyzing life. It's about listening to your intuition versus talking so much. It's about loving versus competing, trusting versus doubting. And all these come into play when you allow yourself to go to that place that you always have at your disposal, which is to tune into the divine, tune into source, listen to your inner voice, your still small voice within. That is the voice of joy. That is the voice that leads you home. And home is where Cancer is. Cancer is a reminder to allow our heart to sing, to be kind, to be gentle, to be nurturing. And in doing so, and allowing others to shower their love on us, we naturally come home to ourselves. So have a beautiful Cancer new moon, and be sure to come home to yourself by knowing your star code, your numerology and astrology. And you can do that in a free masterclass I created for you at starcodeclass.com. It'll guide you through how to find your life purpose, your destiny, what your numbers mean, and also the astrology part of that whole beautiful blueprint that you're born with, your soul blueprint. So enjoy that at starcodeclass.com, and I will see you in next week's Star Codes podcast. Have a beautiful new moon and week.